This is the hand of my client Anna. Last time we did dry manicure and acrylic extensions. This is what it looks like. Every time we had to start over and over again, unfortunately, because they simply didn't last. But this time we are doing fill after 3 weeks. Coming up. Hello guys, Anastasia here. This is my client Anna, and we have quite a history together. She has short bitten nails, and every time we do dry manicure and extensions, it's usually quite a transformation. But unfortunately, most of the times we need to start over due to different circumstances. First one is that Anna still has biting habit. Another one is sometimes she's not available for the appointment, sometimes I'm away, so it's just been like that. But this time, we managed to do 3 weeks fill, and you can see that not a single nail is broken. And also it seems like there's not much lifting. She lost all the crystals and rhinestones I did for her last time, but the nails, they're still there. Currently, I'm taking off the regular nail polish. She used this to apply it on top so they will look shiny. I'm using polish remover and a lint-free wipe because if you will start using nail drill right away, we may clog the bit. You can probably tell that I'm very happy about it because honestly, we never made it that far. Usually it's been 2 weeks, so sometimes we did fills after just 2 weeks, but once it's been longer than 2 weeks, usually we just had to start over because most of the nails were always broken. I will start by filing the product underneath because we did extensions without using tips or forms, so there is some excess product underneath. It was not possible to clean it right away because it was covered with the skin. But now, as the nails grow off, we can do it. I'm using carbide bit with green abrasive mark. The speed is 20,000 rotations per minute. If you haven't seen any videos of Anna's nails transformations on my channel yet, I will leave the links down below in the description box so you can check them out. Because we've been working, I think, for at least 2 years now, and every time doing different kinds of transformations. And even though she still has short nails, they changed over time. What we started with is very different from what we have now. It's much easier to work with her nails now, as well as doing dry manicure. Next step is taking off the top coat, and if we will notice some product lifting, we need to clean it as well. I'm using the same bit, it's also forward, and the speed is the same, around 20,000 RPMs. Recently I did a poll and you guys voted that you don't mind me doing longer videos and more detailed ones, and this is one of them. I'm going to show you every single step of this fill. Anna is following all my recommendations. She is still using cuticle oil, and also you notice that she is covering the nails with the regular polished top coat as they grow off, which is quite a good idea because she said this is how she keeps them sealed and she doesn't really want to touch them. She's still working as a chef at the same restaurant, and now she has a good boss, so it is not a problem to do different shapes and to play with the nail art. Of course, they have some regulations for the length of the nails, but as you can see, we're usually doing natural length, so normally it's hard to tell that those are not real nails. And also in her case, I think it would make sense for now to do something longer. Since the nails grew longer, we're definitely going to shorten them. There was a little product lifting on the left side, and it is very important every time you do a fill to completely file it off. Because if you will leave some lifted part of the product, and then you're going to seal it with a new product, technically we are locking this lifting and possible moisture that may be inside, and this is what may cause greenies. This white residue is a leftover from a regular polish because probably I didn't clean it very well, or maybe some of it got stuck in the lifting because we're about to remove another one. Once you see a lifted area, usually it has a different color, such as white, yellow, or even brown. Do not try to file this area right away. I recommend you to start filing near, so all the rest of the product will be thinner and it will be so much easier to remove it. Most importantly, do not touch the natural nail with this carbide bead because this is green mark. This one is medium coarse, so we can file only the product with it. As I filed off the top coat and the top layer of the product, now we can see it better, and the lifted part is not as big, but we still need to clean it all. I'm filing the product more to the side, so I need to see where this lifted part actually ends. Sometimes it goes all the way down to the free edge, but we need to remove it anyways. Once you're close, it's going to fly away by itself once you touch it. Goodbye lifting, and we proceed to the next nail. Anna shared that this shape seems the most comfortable for her, so we decided to keep it. With 180 grit file, I do a slight touch-up of the shape, and also we're making them slightly shorter. Now let's do the cuticle care. I will be using Pusher by Silver Star. I push back the cuticles, and this process is so easy now. Compared to what we had at least 1 year ago, it was almost not possible to push it back because it was so tight, and now it's much easier. After pushing back the cuticles, I'm going to do dry manicure. Using diamond flame bit, the speed is 15,000 rotations per minute. Since you guys enjoyed one of my recent videos with a story time, in this one I am going to share another one. This one is quite short. I used to have clients with different nail types, but for some reason I have many clients with short bitten nails. I guess it happened because I was posting different transformation photos back then, and people just started seeing that it's actually possible. I still receive messages like, wow, I didn't even know that it is possible to do something with my nails, because at most salons they used to say, well, I'm sorry, but we can only do an overlay. And every time a client comes, you can tell that they're hiding their hands and nails. They keep their hands almost like in a fist, like a babies do. But once you do extensions, you can tell that the look of the hand, it changes. They're holding it in a different way and more confident. And that's so nice. So I used to have this client. By the way, her nails were regular as far as I remember, and she started doing extensions with different nail art, and she liked them a lot. But she also wanted to lose some weight, so she was sharing some parts of her journey, like she took a membership in a gym, she was doing these Pilates classes, she was on a diet. But if you ever tried losing weight, you probably know that it's hard, man. She had an appointment every 3 weeks, and she was sharing her ups and downs, and I have to say that was quite motivating, So she was sharing there was one time in the gym, she was doing this exercise when you stand on your knees and arms and you raise your leg up and down, and there was also some extra weight on your leg. And it was hard. She was all tired and sweaty, and every time she was doing this exercise, probably the most hated by her, she said, oh my God, I felt like quitting because it's hard. I still cannot really see much results. I'm hungry all the time and I'm still not happy about how my body looks. Then she looked down and saw her nails, and we just did a fresh set. We did some inlay acrylic design with the flowers and sealed it all with a glossy top coat, so it was all fresh and shiny with a little bit of glitter inside. And she saw how it's sparkling and thought, damn, I have such a beautiful nails already. I definitely need to try a little harder so I will have a body of my dreams in addition to it. And then she raises her leg up again with more energy and motivation. So she finished this workout with a totally different attitude. I really liked this story when she shared it because, wow, that's so motivating, and honestly, I never thought that it works like that. I always thought it's like the opposite direction, right? You like do nails in addition to everything, but if it works in the opposite way, I don't mind because that's so nice and rewarding, right? Because honestly, all the time I think about it, it's doing nails. It's not something like science or being a doctor. We're not really changing much in people's life. It's just a regular service that people need. But sometimes for some people it may be a little bit more than that. If it makes them feel more beautiful and confident, that's awesome. I mean, that makes me very happy, and I have to admit, this is probably what I like about working with the clients the most. Meanwhile, we are done with dry manicure and prep. I apply dehydrator and we're using acid primer since it's working best for Anna. I apply it only on the part where we have natural nail, on the outgrown part and also on the part where we removed lifting. This time I will be using pink acrylic powder, and wow, you can tell that Anna's nails are so tiny. Every time we're doing fills or extensions, I'm using technically like 1/3 of the Deep and Dish monomer and a tiny amount of powder. Application process during fill this time overall probably took me around 10 minutes, honestly, because you can tell there's not that much to apply. Probably the longest part of the process was the prep before the application. When doing fill, the application is not much different from extensions. The only difference is that you need to apply the product mostly near the cuticle area. But since we had some nails with lifting, for example this one, sometimes you will need to restructure the apex again. So you will need to add some product in the center. With short bitten nails, especially with the deep sidewalls, side grooves, I recommend you to always have some margin from the skin and the product. Do not go too close. This acrylic powder is by Tones and it also has a little shimmer, silver shimmer in it, so I think it's going to look beautiful after we seal it with a glossy top coat. Last time we tried doing matte top coat on one hand, and even though Anna liked the look of it, she said it wasn't as practical, so we're definitely going with the glossy next time. Nails right after product application. I haven't filed anything yet and probably not really going to. I'm just going to use the buffer to buff the surface to make it super smooth and also to slightly shape the nails with the file. I usually buff the nails all the time because I like this buffed smooth finish, and with acrylic nails, even if your application is flawless and there's like nothing to file, I still recommend you to buff the cuticle area and the sidewalls so the surface will be super smooth, and once you apply the top coat or the color, you will never see any difference, as well as when the nails will start growing off. When shaping and filing nails, I'm making sure that the shape is identical, because when you're doing oval shape, it may look slightly different. So it's important it will match every single nail. And the buffer I'm using is 180 grit. When I'm buffing nails without shaping them with a file, I usually use 180 because 220 or 280 will be probably too soft. And also we're using acrylic. Even though Anna's skin and cuticles are so much better now, she still has this biting habit, and in order to get rid of all the leftovers and small hangnails and some dry skin, I'm going to use so-called buffing bit at relatively low speed. Now it's 12,000 rotations per minute, forward mode, and I'm cleaning all the parts that are still there, especially the dry skin. So once we have it smooth all over, there will be no temptation to bite them. And we're almost done. Let's do some design. I'm going to use white gel paint, and we decided to do abstract design. I think it works the best with the short and nude nails, because once it's grow longer, it's still going to look nice. I'm doing the stripes first, and then I'm doing some abstract intersections. I really do not know how to explain this design. It's probably something like an abstract net. So every time you have this intersection, I'm just going to add a little bit more color in between. Since I'm going to seal nails with a glossy top coat, it is better to use regular gel paint. But if you would like to use the one without tacky layer, then it is better to do it on the top of the top coat, if you know what I mean. You will also get a slightly different look. When this design is under the top coat, it is going to look all smooth, like you just have a picture on the nail. But if you do it on top, it is going to be a little bit of the 3D. Anna says she prefers to have a smooth surface of her nails, and last time we did plenty of crystals and they were lost pretty fast. Even though I secured them well, we decided to go with the first option. We did this design on a couple nails, then we cure it in LED for 1 minute. And we're approaching the best step of the service, is sealing with a glossy top coat. Apply it on all nails and cure in LED as well. And we're done. I'm still surprised that we went this far with Anna, and she's definitely happy with the new set. I mean, technically it's not a new set, it's just a fill. Let me know, guys, what do you think? And you asked me to show the nails underneath, so here you go. And thank you so much for watching. If this is your first time here on my channel, consider subscribing, as I post new nail art tutorials just like this one every week. See you in my next one. Goodbye!